And hello, all of my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome back once again to Danganronpa Lapse. So last time we got electrocuted by a door. Um, that's as much as I can summarize it. To be honest, I don't really know how else to get through this intro, but we got electrocuted by a door, and now we're gonna be trying to investigate this mansion, see if we can find a way out, or be stuck here forever because it's part of the preservation project. Anyways, I opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my pers- in my personal room, I sat up from bed. I sat up from bed and took in the surroundings. So, oh, the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. My personal room I had initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be night. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back into my pillow. I don't want to see anyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. Oh, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting dressed properly, I met Ashley outside the door of the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. We walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You sleep all right last night? Yeah, I slept all right considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. In the foyer, we met with two other students loitering outside the dining hall. Uh, sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, Say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time. It says that it's 7:43 p.m., Sunday, 6th of December. 7:43 p.m.? That's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, the oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from Say's date, today would be Saturday. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would the time for certain people would be a little different. E- Even so, all of our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter is too cold, but the New Year is fun. I don't know. I kind of like Say. She's adorable. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room. My senses swathed in comfort. Dora placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course. I had to get I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge you all with some treats in the begin the morning. I felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Such a lovely setting. Yeah, it would almost be a shame to eat it. Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. You're too kind. Help yourselves. That's alright. We'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of us filtered in and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats, as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we were all settled in, Missy stood at the head of the dining table to begin the discussion. Morning all. I trust you have had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups to investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Relay a message? The digital kiosk can do that? Yes, I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified functions it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. A rather rudimentary feature though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot send specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. This mansion is truly an all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search one room themselves. While I was deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey Echo, would you like to help me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Huh? Why me? Because you were the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. Guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. Nonsense, there's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time around. In the foyer, Missy was already doing her own investigation, intensely staring at the walls. So what exactly were you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led to my reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be an outcast if the others knew I wanted to run away. After welcoming us, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. And? Like I said at dinner last night, in passing I was curious about the door, and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Whoa, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? Canon immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me collapse for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. Huh. I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate on my own from here. I don't know if I don't know that I helped all that much, but you're welcome. Lau went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanisms. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Cannon's disappearing act. Forte was, unsurprisingly, in the theater, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you all to keep your spirits high, despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that, I want to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so, what I told you yesterday was all the information I have. I see. I admit, I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seemed straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me more if you notice anything odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was a trifling fact that Kanan fled to the second floor right away. It's strange. Had I been so startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Stairs, huh? Other than Kanan fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required of investigation are too overwhelming. That's okay. I appreciate the thought. And actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw a digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on the screen. A Campopiano. Hi, climbing center. Well, it's certainly working. Paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I toured down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Cannon? But before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. What now? The few students that are already on the second floor made their way over. Quickly, Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes. Hello, right back at you. Cool, it works. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's larking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. Oh? And the voice that announced following was different too. Oh, please tell me it's who I think it is. Oh, wait. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you have been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. The voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. Is that who I think it is? Please tell me that's who I think it is. Okay, you know what, just in case, I'm going to do the voice script. This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today, and cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game? That's right, game, and not just a game. It's Beyond Universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the mutual healing game. I knew it. I knew it. It has to be him. It has to be him. There's no other person. Also, I'm pretty sure that's not his emblem, though. But then again, I guess if they used the actual emblem, it'd be too obvious. Mutual killing game? Ah, the mutual killing game. A game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequence. It's also killing. Yes, indeed, you're all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves up for the exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, we saw the other student's face go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. The idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? The cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. The full game will take place over 6 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you like to leave earlier, then follow one very simple rule. A fellow student with caught. To leave by other means will result in the consequence of some you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Besides, you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting of the other students, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. It'll allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing. But tomorrow, the real fun begins! Ah, the announcement ended one final disgusting note before cutting out. I really want to know if that person doing the announcement is who I think it is, please tell me it is. The class was in absolute shock. No way! It can't be! Wait, what is this? A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora's voiced the question in the back of everyone's mind. How could one? How could one? It's merely an awful jest. There's no way any one of us would commit such an act against friends. Who said that we were friends? Who knows? Maybe one of you is a puppet master running this shtick. This will turn out to be more interesting than that defuse the electrocuting door puzzle. This ARG is fun. Okay, this guy is giving me real big vibes of what's his name? He's from Danganronpa 3. I know what his name is. I just forgot what it was. It was like it was like the ultimate evil team leader or something, or evil gang leader. Ah, what was it? It's at the top of my head. I just can't remember what. I can't remember what his name was. If you know what his name was, please let me know in the comments. I forgot. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure out this puzzle out yet. Don't worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. Think this morning we were all having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think that of of this during a moment when all of our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Prologue. What's in the middle? And that was just the prologue of this game? That's crazy. Oh, and now we get to the intro. Let's go. Dude, that was awesome. That's probably the coolest intro I've ever seen for a fan game. You may now visit the student roster from the main menu. Ooh. So now we can actually take a look at the roster itself. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner. It a smirk painted on his face in stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. So, we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? Well, what's 7 days away? Anyway, it shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We've made it this far. Art chuckled nervously, but the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that existed in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of an awful rule was that? Please, don't joke about the matter. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed that the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is onto something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, causing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. Or crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken, hmm? Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who is excited. With nothing left to do, we departed for the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as long as I left the room behind. Wahahaha. What an awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. With the foyer door bearing any chance of exit, all we could do is wait. Wait. All we could do is wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. A so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What a horrible thing could possibly be in store for us. I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I gotten myself into? I felt closely to Ashley, who, as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Same announcement, huh? Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Right, but honestly, I'm just worried about you. Me? Yeah, that whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title itself, so I hope you're not dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get up and get back in the saddle. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry. I know there's no use making myself sick with worry. Don't fret about it. It makes sense this strange situation would make anyone nervous, but look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. You're, you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a little warrior is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further and further into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling a little overwhelmed. Oh, of course. I understand. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Ashley departed for the study, and I went back to my personal room. It was all too much. I threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter as I sank into my thoughts. I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown room with nothing but in my possessions. In a panic, threw the door open to find my best friend Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey. That's right, she's the ultimate jockey. Supposedly, I won 84% of her races, whatever that meant. Regardless, she neglected to tell me such thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore in what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There was someone who didn't have one. It's me. That's right. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. I want to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing. But in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed with immense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. Therefore, Foyer's main door and was electrocuted. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up sometime later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning to search the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. There we heard some horrific news. We're part of a killing game. That's right. A strange announcement informed us that we were all trapped here for 7 days. The means of escape was to kill someone. Not to mention that the real fun will begin tomorrow. It was all so strange, almost unreal. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I just wanted to go back to the comfort and the complacency of and knowing my place. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. Chapter 1. J. ne peut résoudre. I opened my eyes. The clock on my bedside table read 12 o'clock. Oh, I must have dozed off a little. Why can't this weird situation just be a dream already? I started blankly around in my personal room. I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off things. I made my way to the foyer inside again. The grandiose foyer was empty, making me feel smaller against the elaborate decor. I dawdled further for a spell, thinking of what to do, when I heard a small conversation in the dining room hall. Have a look at this. Yes. Oh, I'm hiding behind something. It was Pandora and Say. I paused at the doorway. It seemed they were in the middle of something. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. The engraving is just as immaculate. My sister gave it to me ages ago. I was wondering if you'd like it. Huh? Why me? Were you wanting something in return? Nothing of the sort. I was thinking, as a watchmaker, you must have a rich eye for detail. I believe you could give this piece the care it needs. I don't know. If it's a gift from your sister, wouldn't you want to keep it? I'm afraid I can't quite put it to good enough use. I cherish it, but if someone else can appreciate it more than I, who am I to keep it away from her? Oh. I'll try to take care of it. But thank you. Even after the present situation made itself known, it seemed like Pandora still wanted to get along with everyone, even the most timid person. some way or another. I left them alone. I stepped back into the center of the foyer. Wonder how everyone else is doing. Wait, do I actually get to choose? Oh, I actually get to choose! Hey, we get to visit them. Okay, so these two are in the dining hall. Missy Vesper in the foyer, Forte solo, or Ashley in the study. We're here already, so let's go ahead and talk to Missy. I'll go talk to Missy. I can't sit still knowing there are questions to be answered. Would you like to join me in investigation? I helped Missy search every corner of the foyer, to no avail. Oh, so this is like one of those bonding moments. Okay, because like you get to spend time with a person in the game, and then you can give them a present if you want to, and then you get to learn more about them. It's so cute. That was kind of a heavy sigh. Are you all right? I'm not immune to the pressure of the situation we found ourselves in, and I must confess something. If you would allow me to think aloud for a moment. I intended to join the preservation project as part of their operating group once I heard about it. I thought my skills would prove useful. Really? What were you thinking about? What were you thinking about it now? I'm convinced the group must have been infiltrated. The group is known for bringing in many talents from around the world. For starters, the preservation project's safe house is a large building with many wings for each group of ultimate students. The groups are divided by the window of time students signed up. In our case, we all signed up within a relatively close time frame, creating a group of 10. The individual groups are often offered a class project to work on together, utilizing all the unique skills in their pool. These projects apparently have varying results given the fact that each group may or may not be composed of incompatible talents. Regardless, the end products are usually very unique. Wow, that sounds interesting. Finally, it would have been an amusing and challenging experience to participate in, as well. But alas, the other ultimate students, huh? I let Missy continue investigating in peace. Wait, we get to talk to the others too? Alright. Free time. Right, well, I think this is a good time for us to leave this video here for now. Honestly, I'm very excited to see what happens next. I really hope to see any familiar characters, but also anything new about the ones we know right now. So, I'm going to leave this video here. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never